Hey. All right, guys, this is going to be today's topic for the 21st of January. As always, you can enter to win a free read with me just by writing the word compassion in the comment section, being a subscriber to the channel, and giving this video a thumbs up. Those 3 things get you entered to win, and I have not yet chosen anybody for this week. Okay, so stay tuned for that. We've got communication and beginning. Very nice. Card 1 and card 36. By the way, card 1 is associated with the wolf moon. Wolf moon just happened this month in January. That was the full moon in January. So somebody is having a new beginning in January, which is nice because, I mean, technically we all are, right? It's the beginning of a new year, but it's a new year with new versions of communication on the horizon. We have had some kind of communication, possibly from our ancestors. So I would say, if someone hasn't received communication from someone, like a particular person they were thinking of in January, I would say it's more that they've had, or they're getting, ooh, this is risky, hold on. Okay, the deck that I wanted sometimes will disrupt the cord of one of my video cameras, and so I was really nervous about taking that deck, but I really wanted it, and I was able to Jenga my way out of it. 3 of Pentacles. So I do think that someone is having a better understanding right now. Again, if it's more like the ancestors are communicating to someone, it's about how to cooperate, where collaboration would make the most sense versus where it makes no sense. You know, we don't want to be pouring our energy into something or with someone where it's just flat out not going to fly. It's not going to work. We're not going to get any benefit from that. Somebody is understanding a little bit more, I think. Page of Wands, the Chariot, and the 10 of Wands. Somebody has been urged by their guides, move forward. There's other people in this world that we haven't met yet that we're going to have such a much better time with. If someone doesn't want to communicate with us, the guides are like, but baby, you know how many other people are out there that would love to communicate? Maybe this person isn't capable of communicating yet. Maybe they've got other things to do. So let's put it this way. If, you know, do we sit by the phone and say, well, I can't walk away from the phone all day long because so-and-so might call? Well, we can't afford to do that, because what if it's going to be 2 years before somebody calls? So instead we go off, live a merry life, move onward, talk to other people, make other plans, and we quit worrying about when or if someone is going to be contacting us, because maybe they will, or maybe they won't. Maybe it's they're cosmically not allowed to right now. Maybe they got a red light from the cosmos and we got a green light because we're supposed to go out and have a really good time right now. We don't really know why somebody isn't communicating, but it doesn't mean that we should stop communicating with others. Okay, let me just look at this a little closer. Ace of Swords, 2 of Swords. Ace of Swords in this card, you notice that, you know, her head is like a nautilus shell, but it's also this, you know, spiral staircase, but the light is shining through. She's had a major breakthrough. And that was a major breakthrough where she's realizing, I was acting like I didn't know what to do, when all along my guides have been, you know, plucking at me, pecking at me, saying, come on, you do know what's true here. You do know. It's time to not stress out or worry if we haven't heard from somebody. It's time to open up ourselves, because there's somebody else we're supposed to be meeting right now. There's somebody else who's important on our journey. We are on a journey. All these cards say that this character is on a journey. Every single card here says travel, journey, lay down burdens, have a great journey. It's all about the stoplights in the universe. If the universe says you have a green light, I need you to move through that intersection, and we insist on just sitting there, we're going to backlog all kinds of things in our life, energetically speaking. So if someone hasn't called yet, instead of us waiting for the phone, why don't we just go ahead and keep moving forward every time we see those green lights? Because that's what our character is realizing. I do know that this is my year to do that. This is my time frame to do that. I'm not supposed to be waiting I do know that. I'm not supposed to be waiting. So I will wait no more. That's very exciting. Okay, so if we are not waiting, where are we going? Let's try this deck. I worry about this because I tried to use this deck already. And Seven of Swords. Hold on. The reason I said I worry about this deck, because I did try to use it already in a video that it just didn't take. I wasn't getting the vibe off of the deck. Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. Somebody is saying this, but it's kind of lip service because they're not really investing anywhere else. They're only saying that they'll move on and quit waiting, but they aren't really. So they're kind of lying to themselves just a little bit for the moment. Eight of Cups. It's okay. They're about ready to take a really big step forward. At first, they are just telling themselves lip service. At first, they are just saying, universe, I get it. Time that I move on. But they really aren't giving to anybody else. Maybe they sat in that holding pattern for a while, and now they're finally saying, all right, truth be told, I'm actually already on that journey. I have been on this journey. I have been walking away from this. Sometimes I act like I'm already over it when I'm not, though. And instead, you know what? My feet are taking me one step in front of the other, no matter what. We've got a Knight of Cups in the reverse. We got the Four of Pentacles in the upright. This is impressive, is what I'll say. This is very impressive because this character is doing something very brave. She's kind of closing her eyes and moving forward. That's why she hasn't really connected with anyone else, and that's why it's probably been a bunch of lip service. She hasn't really let herself try to date somebody. So it's not really like she's honestly saying, "Oh, I'm single, I'm ready to mingle," because she isn't trying to meet anyone, but she is closing her eyes and taking faithful steps forward. But she is still holding on to the memory. That's why her eyes are shut. But there is something brave about her taking these steps forward no matter what. It's just that, sometimes I guess this is like, we fake it till we make it. We lie to ourselves and say, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. And then at night we still cry, and it's like, oh my gosh, I'm not really good until it's not just words. But the fact that she's moving forward anyway, I think is super impressive. That Nine of Swords, and she's moving forward despite stress, despite fear, despite these tumultuous emotions. How can we help this character? How can we help her? Because she knows that she's got to move forward, so she is. It's just that her emotions still hurt. High Priestess. Okay, so how can we help this character? Well, honestly, she just has to tap into her intuition just a little bit more. She's already deeply intuitive. She knows what to do, which is why she's doing it. There's one thing that she hasn't tapped into yet, though, which has everything to do with she already knows she's being guided somewhere. She does know that. She's being guided. It's almost like she needs to sit and quietly and close her eyes and ask that question. Universe, where am I being guided to? Four of Swords. Into this healed space and this bright new dawn. It's like she's being guided. Look at this, how dark and how heavy her journey is, even though she's brave enough to take it. You notice how she's been walking in the dark. This is that Eight of Cups card. This is the journey that we take alone as we say, I'm going to leave things in the past. In the past, I'm going across, new terrain, knowing that I don't have anyone beside me, knowing that that person from the past is not going to call me back in. I'm just having to walk this path alone. But she's been upset, she's been lonely, and she's been sad, but she's been doing it anyway. Finally, she settles down and she closes her eyes and she says, universe, where are you guiding me to? And the universe answers, into the new dawning daylight where you will genuinely be healed. You're going to see just how far you've come. I know right now you've just been going through the motions. You've been moving forward. You've been changing. I mean, this could be somebody who's like, I'm recovering from a heartbreak. I'm letting go of the idea that I'm going to have this person return. I am just moving forward. And every day I just remind myself, hey, don't wait for them. If you want to move, if you want to change something in your life, like maybe at one point she was like, I don't want to move because then what if this person comes back and they don't know my address anymore? Like she may have really been in a headspace for a period of time where she didn't want to go, maybe she checked her phone all the time. What if they texted me, oh, here's a holiday, here's a birthday, here's this, here's that. What if they texted me on any of those days? I want to be near so I could see my emails, my inbox, my phone, my letter, did I get a package from them? Did I get communication? And she's not doing that anymore. She's letting herself move. She's letting herself maybe physically move to a new place. She's moving forward. We see it, even though it has been painful, it has been tumultuous, and she still hasn't given herself to a new person yet. But she's finally asking, universe, where are you guiding me? I'm having the bravery to go ahead and move forward. I'm listening to the communication I received from you that says, I know better. I know that I have to keep moving forward. But where are you taking me? And the universe says, darling, I'm taking you to a place of healing. You're going to be happy again. I promise. Strength card. You're not just going to be happy. You're going to be very like your spiritual biceps and abs are going to be like awesome. You're going to be so spiritually fit. You're going to be feeling better, feeling stronger than you've ever been. You're going to stand in broad daylight and actually go, oh my God, when did this happen? When did I get over this? I feel so much better about myself now. I like who I see in the mirror. The universe is guiding her toward this. And it's only because, yes, it is fake it till you make it, but she is actually arriving at this wonderful head space and heart space where she's really going to feel healed. This could be a masculine or feminine, doesn't matter. And we've got this Ace of Cups here. It's very much somebody who's is Ace of Reigns, but it's Ace of Cups is the same thing. She's kind of like innocent again. She's been washed clean. She's ready to love again. You see her like a kid with a teddy bear standing here with a little heart on her little shirt. She's going to be ready to love again, almost like she doesn't remember what it felt like to have been so wounded, so hurt. This is somebody who's going to feel youthful. They're going to look young again. They're going to all of a sudden, and this is the year, like this is the time for it. This new beginning, she's already well underway. And I say that just because we had the wolf moon with the new beginning. This is, she's already taking huge steps forward. I don't think, I never asked this, but I'll ask, how long does it take for her to get to this space? We've got a Queen of Wands in the reverse. It's probably going to take just until she isn't angry anymore and just until she stops thinking like, why was I not attractive enough? If that's still a part of our character's thought process, as soon as they stop thinking of it like that, why was I not attractive enough for somebody to have, called me, wanted me, pursue me? A Queen of Wands would never ask that. Queen of Wands is like, are you kidding me? They knew that they couldn't keep a hold of all this good, all this yum. That's why, because they knew they didn't measure up. She wouldn't even begin to entertain the idea that there was anything lacking in her. As soon as we get this card turned upright, as soon as they stop asking themselves, but why am I the one who wasn't chosen? What made me unattractive to them? What made me not desirable enough to them? And masculine or feminine, all individuals can feel that way, especially when we're not pursued or when we're rejected or when we're abandoned. It's so easy to feel like I was not the chosen one. I was the one that, somebody else was more attractive than me because I must just not be much of anything, and that is all the lack of own self-worth that needs to be healed, because that's never true. It's never true. None of that. Whoever didn't have the courage to be beside a Queen of Wands, that's always because they're lacking. It's never because she is. Now, lacking maybe just the two of them weren't in the same vibe. It doesn't have to mean that they're a horrible person just because they don't fit with her. But the bottom line is she didn't miss out on someone who was, like they were looking for something special and she just wasn't it. No, she's amazing. But they don't have what it would take to be with someone like her. So that's why they didn't end up with her. So as soon as she can see it in that light, That's when she's clean and fresh again and ready to have love again. But that final thing, this is one of those journeys where she's on this journey to let go of this, and she's doing all the physical things that she needs to. She's physically moving on. She's, she knows she needs to. And a big part of her knows all of this and knows that, I'm strong enough to get through this hurt. I will heal. And she does. But the second that she's ready to love again will be the second that she feels desirable again, she or he. But that comes with no longer asking that completely off target question of like, but why was I not enough? Why was I not attractive enough? Why did they not desire me enough? As soon as she quits asking a question like that of herself, because that question has no bearing in especially in anybody's life. But as soon as we stop asking that, bam, that's when it's like, doesn't matter. So what? They weren't my person, clearly. They couldn't stand beside me. Sad for them. Onward. Next. Thank you. Next. She's totally. That's when she moves on. 6 of Swords. We're ready to rock and roll. We're ready to meet that new person. This is all happening. She can control that final piece. As soon as she stops asking herself that question, she will be free of that previous hurt. She's done all the other brave things about physically moving forward, physically, taking charge of her life. It's just that inner hurtful question that she's got to not ask herself that anymore. As soon as she does, she moves on from all of this completely and moves on to what? The Magician. Could be a Virgo Gemini, could be some sexy, mysterious hunk that could be very powerful energetically, could be somebody who I want to say that this person literally, like, they've got an amulet on that looks very like Nordic, Celtic. This could be somebody who is like a Nordic or Celtic heritage. This could be somebody who's very into all kinds of like, things like this, like mystical energy and, balls of light and, sacred geometry and all kinds of things. They could have a culture that's kind of steeped in that. They could like Renaissance fairs. I always think that, the hoods and cloaks and things, this person could be really drawn to that kind of stuff. But in their own right, they could also just be very grounded, very down to earth, but they could have that quality to them where it's like, they may not necessarily dress like this or talk about it, but they've got a little interest in stuff like that once you get to know them. They maybe do believe in, certain amounts of like, maybe they like that sci-fi fantasy kind of storyline, things like that, that are just intriguing to this person. But I mean, that would be a great match for her because remember, she's said, okay, I understand that my guides have been communicating with me for some time now, that it's time for me to move forward. And so it's almost like if she believes in things like that, it would be a perfect match that she would meet a magician, that she would meet somebody along those lines who has that kind of power within them. I'm glad that it's somebody new. It's not an ex returning. We've got the 7 of Pentacles and we've got the Page of Cups. This is definitely a new love. And this is somebody who, it may start kind of simple, but man, this has the potential to grow. We see this little boy who's here and he's watching in this kind of barren landscape. He's watching just these 2 teeny tiny little buds on this little tiny flower blooming, and you notice that he's here to like cultivate it. You notice how he's brought his little trowel, and this is otherwise a very barren landscape. To me, this is reminiscent of like once all the snow melts away and we haven't seen quite all the green of the spring show back up yet, but sometimes we'll have just that one little early flower that pops up. So I don't know if this is like something that comes in springtime, but spring is right around the corner. But this looks very, very passionate, very loving, very, like this person is willing to really invest. They want to see her grow. They have been manifesting someone like her, someone who they could see her blossom and blossom for them. I think that that's a like a really kind of sexy vibe off of this. Like here she was thinking that she wasn't chosen, feeling like she had to move on, and then she's going to meet somebody who thinks that it would be so amazing if she would blossom and bloom for them, you know, choose to like open up, and that they would kind of like bring her back to life a little bit, um if she falls for them. It's interesting because I don't think she pictured that somebody would want to um be the reason that she smiles again. You know, that's a really cool thing, and that's kind of like one of those magical things that a magician can do, right? They have that magic touch. That song by Phil Collins, Invisible Touch, is on my mind right now. Um, it's just kind of an interesting little it's like she touches their heart, but she doesn't know yet that she's touched theirs. I don't think it would even be something that would cross her mind. Not when she's come out of something that felt so dismal and where she felt unchosen and unselected and like the person that wasn't good enough for someone to want. I think that the concept that someone would be so thrilled if they could be the reason that she smiles, I think that's like the furthest thing from her mind right now. So I think this is kind of a really sweet story about, you know, when people start to heal, they don't realize how special it is for the person who is lucky enough to be a part of their life, especially when they weren't made to feel special with their previous partner. So I think it's really not on her radar that someone would think it's like, oh my gosh, I'd give anything to be the person that would make her smile. So I think that's really a sweet part of this story. Anyway, I'm going to leave that there. As always, thank you guys so much for being a part of my world. Thank you so much for giving this video a thumbs up, subscribing, being here. If you do enjoy my storytelling. All right, bye for now. I'll see you guys tomorrow. And tomorrow I should be putting out all the zodiacs. All right, bye.